Joining us on the phone now, he's been sick at home today, so thanks for taking the call. Horgs, welcome.
Thanks, Jen.
Now, Horgs, we don't often do Crime Watch on the show, but I feel like we've got a bit of a Crime Watch story, don't we?
Yeah.
What's the sitch, man?
Well, I mean, I'll give you a little bit of background, Horgs. You have got a nice new house with your lovely wife and twins. Your wife, Kate, not so keen on shoes in the house.
It's a no-shoe house.
So you came up with a solution months ago. It's backfired. Take it away.
Yeah, well, we got a box to put the shoes in.
Yeah.
Because I would prefer the shoes in the house. It's a lot easier. So we have to keep all of our shoes outside in this box. And about 2 months ago, a pair of shoes went missing.
Yep.
And then a week later, 2 more pairs.
Yep.
We're 2 months down the track. There's 7 pairs gone.
And Hawks, now, 2 months ago, I said to you, you're going to take the box inside. And what did you say to me?
Not allowed to.
Not allowed to. Even in the face of these shoes going missing.
Yeah.
You had your brother-in-law staying. He lost a pair of shoes.
Yeah.
Where will
Hawks,
the madness stop?
Do you think it's the same thief?
It has to be, doesn't it?
Yeah. They've found a hole in the fence.
Yeah, I've done the door knock.
Yeah.
No one else is missing shoes.
But
is anyone else leaving a rich bounty of shoes out the front of their house?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Okay,
Did any go missing around Halloween? Any trick-or-treating kids just assuming you'd already put a treat out?
No, I left chocolates out for the kids. That was all fine.
Yeah.
Hawks, do you feel that you have to change your ways rather than trying to persist with the shoebox? I mean, you sent me a photo through of the shoes left. You've got a brown pair of brogues, which you never wear, that are still in the mix.
Are you hoping the thieves will take these shoes?
Oh, yeah. I've got a shocking pair of shoes that all you guys get stuck into.
Yeah.
And they're the only ones they haven't taken.
So
is it possible?
It's a thief with taste.
Could you put a GPS tracker in the shoes? Have you thought about doing that?
That's a good idea.
What about an old-fashioned stakeout, Hawks? I know you've got twins, and you probably can't say to your wife, "Hey, I'm just going to sit out the front and
looking after them,
have a few beers."
We could sit out the front
all night.
Could sit out the front and have the baby monitor with us, so if there is an emergency, we can go in the house.
Oh, she'd be keen as mustard. But because I'm saying, let's bring the shoes in. Yeah. Now it's getting so far down the track. Kate's going, nah, we're going to catch them.
So hang on, you want to catch them now? You want to get 7 pairs gone?
Well, because you've got to just start wearing around just those sort of canvas recycled shoes that are like $30 a pair. You can't afford to keep losing shoes.
Yeah, I know.
What level of catching do you want to do? I mean, would you go as far as putting a bear trap inside the box? I mean, would you want to come out and see a bloodied thief with half an arm squealing on your floor? Is that not what your twins would want to see?
Well, I just want to catch them. I mean, because it's quite scary. Our bed is 3 meters, like it's right at the front of the house.
3 meters away from stealing your head.
Yep.
If that thief had longer arms, he'd just be reaching through the window and taking himself a head.
And we've got a squeaky gate, so we're always keeping the gate shut now.
Yep.
And I don't know if he's jumping. I don't know what's going on.
The wall next to the gate, though, is only about 70 centimetres high.
Yeah.
So I know how he's getting.
Now, are we confident that it's a he, Hawks?
Well, I'm a tall man. I've got big feet.
Yeah.
Could be a clown. Could be a clown trying to get some sensible shoes rather than these silly big red ones.
So is the hope that you hear a squeaky gate and you jump out of bed? Because, Horgs, I know that you're not particularly good with those moments. You actually get frightened. In fact, I think you've called 000 just recently in the last few months. In a panic situation. Sometimes you've said to me on the phone, maybe a bit embarrassingly too early.
Yeah.
Do you reckon you will have the guts if you hear the squeaky gate to run out there and catch a thief red shoe?
I'm worried about that because Kate obviously expects me to go out there.
Yeah.
And I said to her the other night, just to make it clear, if you wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning, are you expecting me to go outside? She went, of course I am. Well, I mean, the guy's obviously as tall as me.
Horgs is 6'6".
Yeah.
And, obviously, I'm not that keen on going out there and, having a bit of a punch on.
The great thing is if you get to him before he gets your shoes, he will be in bare feet.
Yeah, exactly.
So if a chase in shoes, you'll be able to run him down. You should sleep with sneakers on. Well, but of course no shoes in the house. So how can you do that? This is impossible. The thief knows this. He's got an open window, and that's why he's exploiting this situation to full advantage. Horgs, where does it stop?
Might be at a disadvantage if the guy gets in there early enough to put shoes on.
It's going to be an unfair fight. He's got shoes on. Horgs, where does it stop? What if they steal 20 pairs? Where do you draw the line?
Well, I've obviously reloaded on the shoes.
Yeah.
I've bought, because I lost golf shoes,
Yeah.
just bought some new ones, new sneakers, new work shoes. I mean, I don't know. They're all out there as we speak.
Right, well, here's what we want to do. 13, 10, 60. I want to get an idea of how, basically the only way out of this is if this criminal gets bored. Because you're not going to stop, you're not going to change your behaviour.
No.
13, 10, 60, I would love to know, what is the most stolen thing you know of? What's the thing that's been stolen the most times?
And
more than Horgs' shoes?
You've had to keep replacing it.
What can Horgs expect here? If he replaces 20 pairs of shoes with this guy of eaten his fill, will he be bored of this? How far does he have to go? 30 pairs?
Emily on 13, 10, 60. What's been stolen and how many times?
We used to use just the empty formula, like baby formula tray bucket things as ashtrays out the front of our house.
Okay, yep.
And until we moved, they were stolen. And I'm talking 30, 40 formula buckets.
Someone was stealing, like we're doing the little cans here that you get the baby formula in. Yeah.
Yeah.
A handy ashtray.
Yeah.
40 of
Why
them.
is someone stealing your ashtrays?
I have no idea. And it's not like they were empty. They were full of cigarette butts.
And are they made of a valuable metal?
No.
I mean, they're like, I know they're like $25. Like, it's not cheap, but I mean, the formula I would assume is the expensive bit, not the tin.
Emily, did you start putting your ashtrays in a different spot after losing 30 to 40 of them? Did you want to catch the thief? How'd you go about it?
Well, what we were doing was we had like just a little outside chair, and we started putting it under that, and they still kept going missing. We'd lost shoes as well, of course, but it seemed to be the ashtrays that were really missing, and we didn't worry too much about it. Yeah.
Was it still visible under the chair?
Not really.
Okay, so they're hunting around. They're going, it's got to be out here somewhere.
Yeah, definitely.
Give us those butts.
We didn't really worry about it because it was, free rubbish removal.
Yes, it's rubbish. They're stealing rubbish, but it is still very mysterious.
It's still theft. Thanks, Emily.
Until
Chris.
you go down to the park and you find a guy playing the tin cans like a musical instrument or something like that.
Well, he's built some amazing statues.
He's made his own xylophone or something. It is the only possible explanation.
Chris, on 13, 10, 60, what's been stolen? What has to be replaced constantly?
Yeah, g'day boys. Look, growing up in Melbourne, I lived around the corner from a school called Carey, and out the front they had just like in bolted on letters out the front of the school, the name of the school, Carey, and Dad said every fortnight someone would go and unbolt the C, flog it, and write a big F there, so I'd say fairy. And this happened fortnightly for a good 2 years. Until the school finally got the idea and decided to not use bolted on letters and just paint it on themselves.
Oh, right, or change their name to Fairy.
Yeah, that's right.
This is the quicker solution. Good one.
Chris. But, I mean, why doesn't the school... I mean, I always find that go and catch them.
Yeah.
Like this, if this is happening more than once...
No, but if it's a
2
shop name that can be changed or a sign that can be changed to make you look a little bit funny... You're never going to catch him. It's like trying to, you're not going to solve the drugs problem, all right? You're trying to arrest dealers. Someone else is going to start doing it. You've got to address the problem in a different area.
So just have safe rooms that people can go and switch the letters.
Guys, just come into this room and you've got lots of puns you can make in a safe area.
Paul, on 13, 10, 60, wrap this up for us, mate. What kept getting stolen, Paul?
Mate, I grew up in a bit of dodgy area, and in a time frame of 5 years, at least a dozen times, our front hose used to get stolen. The first point was it was getting shorter and shorter, and they got a bit wise, and they used to nick the whole thing.
Just take the whole thing.
Yeah, okay. So we can understand what people might have been trying to make.
Yep, doing their own sprinkler systems.
Yeah.
No.
And instead of just taking off 6 inches off the edge, it's tough for you to notice that it's getting shorter.
Well, my mother didn't realise until she did a bit of a stakeout herself.
Yep.
And she caught one of the young fellas that must have been doing it, and she shed the balls to approach him and say, "What are you doing?" Yeah. And they told her why. I don't know if I should say it on air.
Probably
not.
And eventually we removed the hose and the tap completely.
Oh, they stole the tap?
And the tap completely. There's no hose ever to be put there.
Wow. Did you guys remove it or did they steal it?
They stole the hoses over 5 years, but we eventually stopped putting a hose there and we removed the tap completely.
Yeah. Water restrictions came in and saved your skin there because it would have been an ongoing battle.
You've done exactly what Horgs refuses to do.
You changed your habits. And that is the problem with Horgs' strategy. He just keeps feeding the thieves.